Okay, morning all. It's the next morning. Left the rear light overnight to dry with the new paint, and then this morning managed to dig out firstly some rubber trim. It's a little short. I didn't quite have enough for both sides. I had to split what I had, but that'll be okay because this end is almost under the seat, I believe, anyway. But we'll see when it's on it, and it won't be much of a problem to take it off in the future when I've got some more edging. But also managed to find a couple of screws as well, and to mount the lens up, and that's all nice and centered after a bit of adjustment. So that's all good, ready to go and ready for fitting. Just got to do a bit of tidying up. I've been doing some other stuff this morning regarding parts. Been getting the odd electrical part together, front and left handlebar switches, other paraphernalia, and doing a bit of tidying up. So it looks like a bomb's dropped in here. So we'll tidy that up first, and then we'll set you up, and we'll mount up this rear light. Okay, everyone, we're set up at the back of the bike, and what I've done here is I've taken the seat off, got most of the parts assembled, but what I've also done, let me just lift you a little bit, there we go. What I've also done, which you can't see very well from there, is I've actually laid out the main wiring harness and begun to route it around the back here. So the wires here that we've got are the main harness that routed through the recess in the mudguard that goes underneath the frame, so that's absolutely correct. I'll show you the rest of the routing as I've got it at the moment once we've got the back light done, but for the moment let's just focus on the back light. So what we've got then are 5 wires here. You've got 2 for indicators left and right, 1 for rear light, 1 for brake light, and 1 for earth, and these are all bullets. The earth needs to be secured to one of the rear light mounting points. So what I've done is I've made up a little bit of short cable bullet on one end that we can attach with a connector to the harness, and with a loop on the other that we can then secure with one of the mounting bolts for the main bracket for the rear light, which we'll do. These are all soldered, and they don't need to be sheathed because this is earth. So what I've forgotten to do is get a bullet connector for that. So let's just grab one of those. So the first thing we'll do is we'll get a connector on that earth bullet. Make sure it's well pressed in, like so, clicks in, and then we'll attach that to the red earth wire on the main harness. There's slightly strange shaped bullets on the harness. This is a new Lucas harness, not one of the originals, because I believe Lucas do produce these now. And the bullets are a different pattern, but anyway, they fit. And there we are. That's that secured. So we've now got an earth strap for the rear light. So what we need to do before we mount the light up is we've got to connect all these wires, otherwise it's impossible to get in. So what we've got to do then, grab the rear light. So here it is. Rear light's on the main rear light bracket itself. We need to turn it over. You've got the 2 wires here from the main bulb, one rear light and one is brake light. I'm just making sure. Plain brown wire is brake light, and brown and green is parking light. So we'll connect those up first, and then we're going to slot into the main mounting bracket, which goes in there, and then we'll screw in the indicators, and we can connect those up, and then we can turn the whole lot over and mount this up onto the mudguard with these two screw-ins here for quarter UNF, and we'll actually put the earthing strap underneath this. The loop is only very thin, so it's not going to affect the sort of position of the light at all. So we'll put it underneath there and tighten up, and then once we've done that, we'll just put a screw in the top here from the underside of the mudguard, and that should be done then. So first thing is to connect up the wires. Now I'm going to have to take the connectors off to get them through. So we'll have that fun again. One day over the rainbow. Right, we've got to thread this lot through there, and that's not going to be easy. What I'm trying to do at the moment, everyone, is I'm trying to remove the clip. It's like a pressed steel clip that effectively has a simple thread in the centre to allow you to use this as a mounting point for a really coarse threaded bolt that goes to the back here. You can take this press clip off. I think the press clip's in the wrong way around because there's a tab on the other side which is going to prevent me getting the wires through, and so I think this is on the wrong way around anyway. Now whether that was done at the factory or not, I'm not sure, but we need to get it off so we can slide it on the other way once we've got the wires in. I'm trying to do it without breaking it. I have got some of these in stock, so that's not a problem. But it is being a bit of a pig. And I can see why too. Yeah, I can see why. Got it caught underneath. Right. Screwdriver. Got it. There we go. And it's off in one piece. So, there is one press clip with an offset hole at the back, which effectively acts as a single turn coarse thread. And once you've got that off, you've got a straightforward bracket here, but it gives you enough room then to get the wires underneath here, and then this should be actually threaded on, I think, from the other side, which we'll do when we put it back in. Right, now let's try and get the wires through, and of course they go straight through without that press clip on. And I want to do it in such a way where we're all the way up to the harness wire. Because otherwise I'm going to have to make some extensions. On the light bracket, we've got it plenty of wire, slack wire on the indicators, but not on that rear light unit which we were messing about with yesterday. I think what I'm going to do is cut the end. Oh, I might be able to get it through. I don't want to strip all the strip some of the insulation off some of the wires though. Right, I'm going to get some scissors. Steady. We will get this on today. Right. It's quite a hard bit of the cloth because they've melted this end, I think, to prevent it from fraying, and that's fair enough. The trouble is it's also preventing us. Oh, blimey. And I've already noticed a problem here in that there's some insulation already split on one of these wires. Okay, that's better. What we've ended up with is a mess. Every wire's insulation has been broken. So we're going to need to put some sheathing on that. Right, I'm going to bring you back once I've actually re-insulated these wires and we can get them threaded then through the backlight. We will get this done today. Right, so what I've done, I've got some shrink wrap sheathing on each of those, and I'm just going to give them a blast with a heat gun. Okay, that's done. I've done all of them except the earth wire. The red earth doesn't need it. Right. Hopefully now we've got that horrible plastic mess, or what, well, it's nylon really. Massive great nylon melted blob on the end of this harness. Hopefully that's now gone, so we can thread this lot through the rear light. We've resheathed the insulation that had cracked, so that should be all good. Right, we're off again. Third time lucky. And apologies if you've all been screaming at me while I've been doing this all wrong. Go. And they're all long enough. Right. Next thing. Now we've got to get the connectors back on. I believe it's the brown one, wasn't it, that was the one that was the challenge, rather than the brown and green. And it's finding the one that we opened out. 2 pliers again. Let's have a look. Is that the one we opened out? One of these we opened out, didn't we? And I should have marked it really. Never mind, we'll get there. Right, I'll tell you what. There's the one. I found it. There it is. I've got it. Okay. I don't want that one. Okay, right. Move that back up. And it's the brown and green. one, and then the plain brown. Brake light, that's in, and then we've got the easy ones for the indicators. One, two. Right, wires all connected up except for the earth, so we'll put that on. The earth loop. Right, that's gone in nicely, that's tight. Tidy these wires up behind the bracket. They can all live in there. Brackets round there. Turn over. Right. First things first, I nearly forgot. Put the press back. I'm going to do it the other way around. If we can, yes we can. So we don't chafe the wires. Oh, that's upside down. That's upside down. Whoops. Come on, baby. That's that out. Again. So it has got to go that way around. Has to. Okay, we're in, and the harness is just slightly to one side. So now I can pick up the bolts again. And we want the earth through there. And screw into there. Yep, that's on. Okay, that's those two in securely. And what we can do, turn the indicators the right way around. And tighten up the lock nuts. Oh, God damn it. I don't know if you noticed, I can see a bit of the earth wire here. So we'll just tidy that up a bit. I couldn't see it from this side. You might have seen it. Let's just loosen it off a little so we can get that in. I thought it was sitting a bit odd. There it is. There we are. That's better. Loosen these off a little so we can move the light on the bracket. Oh my goodness, we're there. Of course we haven't tested it yet. But after a lot of rigmarole and toing and froing and routing problems on my side and a problem with the harness on the Lucas side, we managed to get there. But it's a good job we found the problem with the end of that harness before we went much further when we did. Right, what I'll do now is I'll just show you if I can get the camera out, which I can't. Okay, there we are. Looks good now, but that was a bit of a fight. Right, wiring harness, loop round here, and across the front of the electrical tray, underneath the frame and out the front. We've got the rear brake light switch wire down the bottom here, and then we've got the main harness extending, which will extend towards the front of the tank. but it's short. So whether there's supposed to be a front harness or not, I need to check on that. But that certainly ain't going to reach the headlight. But anyway, from the back end perspective, that looks pretty good. Let me just tidy up the rest of it, and we'll get another full shot of it. Okay, there we are, tidied up, all finished at the rear end. I'll put the rear number plate brackets on too, and they also at the top of those, they secure the grab rail. Put the reflectors on and tidied up the wiring harness in here. Haven't connected everything up yet, but that's fairly straightforward. And then on this side, we've just got the wires coming out there for the rear brake light switch, and the main harness is now under the tank. So that's tidied that. So give me 1 second and I'll come back, put the seat on. The seat now, on the underside, I've got one hinge on there because to mount the seat permanently, that's when you put the other hinge on, and that clamps them both in. But I've got the rubbers, 5 rubbers then in there too. And so we'll have a quick look and see how the seat looks then in its correct position, because also I've got the seat latch on too. So 1 sec. And there she is at last. Looks good. I'm pleased with the seat line, and the tank line look pretty good. Next thing, we'll focus on a bit more on the front end, get a few more bits and pieces on here. You can see I've got twist grip loosely mounted, the rubbers. I've sorted out the steering damper, that's all working now. Got a choke lever, so we'll concentrate on the front electrics probably, and we'll get the handlebar switches on and begin connecting up into the headlight. But not far off now before we'll have a complete rolling chassis and just a big hole in the double cradle there where we need to start on the engine. So not far away now. So that's it for this weekend. I'm working away quite a lot at the moment, so and I'm away for probably going to be not at home too much over the Whitsun weekend. So I'll see you again probably in a couple of weeks. Thanks very much for watching, everybody, and see you again soon. Cheers.